This is another day where I just want to listen to this song and stare at this picture of these cute animal friends and just fall asleep. I'm too exhausted for anything else, but we're going to go for it. Let me remove the music because that was added by me. Stream is starting. Chapter 6, I believe. Oh, I got to click on it. Through thick and thin. Despite Luca's bitterness, Gran was right. He needed to hash things out with Rollo. A big fight changes the nature of a friendship. Whether in the end it is for the better or for the worse, all comes down to understanding. If one is not careful, the same familiarity that builds the strongest of bonds can become the wrecking ball that shatters them all. Luca emerged from seclusion, taking in crisp festival air, but the events of the day weren't on his mind. He had to find Rollo. Rollo, my bestest bud. Hold on, first he had to chill by this fence and look cool. Perfect. Oh no, it's B-Dubs' girlfriend. Luca. Rollo wanted me to tell you something. What is it? Roxy rolled her eyes, shaking her head. Sigh. A space adventure, though you needn't buy it. If ye be brave, go somewhere quiet. Roxy, I don't... It's a riddle, Luca. My goofy little brother wants you to find him. Luca looked down and kicked at the dirt. Look, I know you two had a fight. The only thing more annoying than my little brother is my little brother without his best friend. So I'm going to... Whoa. Reading stream and having a voice problem, not a good day. Hold on. A little too much ice cream in my throat. So I'm doing him this one favor. Now I need one favor from you. Whatever it is that went down between you two, squash it. Oh my god, even the teenagers prance. A space adventure, though you needn't buy it. If you be brave, go somewhere quiet. A space adventure, though you needn't buy it. Interesting. How goes the beetle hunt? Pretty rotten. I haven't seen so much as an exuvi. Don't know that word.
Grant freedom to the soul bound by flesh.
Slow clap.
Hey, Sine. How's it going? And it's not just the beetles. This morning I couldn't find any critters at all. It's like everything that buzzes or skitters just packed up and left. I'm sure they're out there somewhere. Maybe all the commotion of the festival just spooked them. Yeah, maybe that's it. Oh god, what are we slow crop? And the fact that I've got milk throat? Milky throat. What's up, dude? Unique New York? Unique New York. Huh? Oh, don't mind me. Just warming up for my big ceremony speech. Mr. Kerr pointed to his grinning mouth. Gotta limber up the old gab, remember? You're nervous? Oh, heavens no. Well, break a leg. Give me the... Oh, I missed that, jam. Just came here to lurk my shitty mood away. Perfect. Grab a pillow, maybe some beer or liquor of some kind, and just whisk yourself to sleep as I read through my docile book. Can I not talk to you? Do you not want to talk to me? I don't know who Perennial Harvest thinks they're impressing with this ridiculous festival. Totally. The town's still falling apart, the weather's still cruddy, and this season's harvest looks like it's going to be worse than last year's. You said it. No amount of corporate pandering is going to change any of that. Exactly. But the lemonade at the drink stand over there does look pretty tasty. Fitz. I'm still going to be mad at them. I'd just rather be mad while sipping some delicious lemonade is all. Welcome to the festival. Don't forget to come back later for Mr. Kerr's speech at the Perennial Harvest Festival sign reveal. You don't want to miss it. No, I don't. I do want to go look for my friend, though. Dude, are you hanging out at the secret hideout? Why would you not be here? Luca's winter coat, decommissioned for the summer. With the cold holding out longer than usual, he reconsidered its usefulness. Rollo, my dude. Somewhere quiet. Maybe he means where my father's grave is? I don't know what that has to do with the space clue, though. No, he's not here. Hey, Papa. How's death? It's going good? Okay. Oh, man. Too many feels with this game. I forgot. My bad. Ain't moving. Alright, I gotcha. I gotcha. Kid, your face isn't all mauled. Somewhere quiet. Oh, the library. Dude, have you seen Rollo? Hey, Luca. Cato's eyes lit with excitement. I've been expecting you. Bravo on deciphering the first riddle. Yes, I'm a genius. I didn't all just wander around blindly. The first? Oh, you didn't think that was all, did you? Rollo does go all out, doesn't he? Cato straightened up and cleared his throat, as if preparing to sing. On planet Farple, you may take issue. When the fifth king dies, you'll need a tissue. Cato stared at Luca eagerly. Get it? Want me to tell you? No, it's okay. Let me figure it out. Alright, when you find it, bring it here to be verified. If you decide you want a hint, the other still stands. On planet Farple, you maybe take issue. When the fifth king dies, you'll need a tissue. Oh man, I got no clue on that one. When the fifth king dies, you'll need a tissue. I can tell you one thing, it's not out there. What you need to find is inside this library somewhere. Okay. It's the 5th issue of something called King, maybe? Luca grabbed The Adventures of Hank Atomic issue 4 from the shelf. Once you've got a book, you can either bring it here to me or just grab a different one. I want the 5th issue. Yes. Yes. Ah, you found it. Cato removed his book from the desk and replaced it with Luca's, turning on the lamp. As he slid the book under the purple light, 2 words glowed. The Adventures of Hank Atomic, issue number 5. Luca clicked his tongue with recognition. Rollo's cipher pen. He used to write secret messages everywhere with that, and only I had the special flashlight needed to reveal it. But I lost it. Well, apparently he traded Jeff for this purple light bulb, parted with its entire Halloween candy stash. Oh, Rollo. Now, let's see here. Cato began flipping through the pages, stopping when he hit a glowing word. Get away from such a gift. He continued flipping. Only found in grub cart. Reaching the end of the book, Cato looked up. That's it. Grift in grub cart. Griffin grub cart. He wants me to go to Griffin's snack stand. Ah, brilliant. I guess you're off then. Good luck to the rest of the scavenger hunt. Thanks, Cato. Griffin's snack stand? Well, where the fuck is that? I don't know all these people's name. I've met like 40 characters. Alright, is this the guy who was selling ice cream down here? Dude, are you Griffin? Yes. Yes, I remembered something. Hey, Griffin. Did Rollo come? Before Luca could finish his sentence, Griffin handed him a corn dog. Oh, that's it. bought and paid for, enjoy. I thought there was supposed to be a riddle or something. Luca shrugged, take a sizable bite out of the corn dog. It's cold. Oh yeah, that's been sitting here for a while. Rollo wanted me to be sure to give you that one specifically. Well, that's just... Luca tongued at his cheeks, feeling something rough between his teeth. He reached into his mouth and pulled out a slip of paper. Oh, come on! He shook off the bits of corn dog to read the slip. A pickup when you need some pep, near the fountain, up the step. Luca finished off the remainder of the corn dog. This is getting to be a whole thing. A pickup when you need some pep, near the fountain, up the step. Coffee? Coffee, coffee, coffee? Yes. Up the steps. There you are, Luca. There's no way I'm actually doing this. It's way below my pay grade. Oh, come on, you big stiff. Let the kid have some fun. Fine. But Rollo owes me one. Lumi waved his hands around sarcastically as he began. What takes flight but has no wings? Your final task a friendship brings. See, that wasn't so hard? Ooh, yes, my hard biceps. Ugh, I feel cheapened somehow. I think it's sweet. What takes flight but has no wings? Your final task a friendship brings. Good luck, Luca. What takes flight but has no wings? A balloon? Hey. Did you find the comic book? Yep. And you got the corn dog? Yeah. Well then, I know it doesn't make up for what I said, but here, you've earned this. Rollo sheepishly handed Luca the balloons. Thanks. You didn't have to go through all this trouble. I'm sorry I got so mad. Dang it, you were supposed to let me apologize first. Oh, sorry. Now, you've apologized twice before me. Just let me do this. Luca, I'm really sorry. With everything that's happened, with your mom and all, I've always wanted to be there for you. Be a good friend, you know. When you said you were hanging out with someone else, I kind of freaked out. Rollo, still my turn. I felt like if you needed some new friend to help you, it meant that I wasn't good enough, but that was selfish and wrong. I was wrong. I'm so sorry, Luca. Okay, apology over. You can talk now. Luca threw himself at Rollo, hugging him as tightly as he could. You guys are so fucking precious. Aww. Rollo, I don't deserve you. I don't deserve you either. That's why we deserve each other. We're worthless together. So what else do you want to do today? We could snoop around and try to find some info about your mom. Snoop where? We could probably sneak into Perennial Harvest headquarters while everyone's at the festival. Aren't you curious about all the stuff this clipboard writes down? The clipboard people write down? What if we get caught? I think I've had enough excitement for 1 week. Let's just make the rest of the day about us. Really? Yeah, the rest of the world can wait on one more day. You know? I have been waiting to get some work done on the MCDC at Mission Control. The aim is a bit unpredictable. That sounds perfect. Head to the treehouse with Rollo. Okay, so I forgot. I had a couple ideas off stream. One was, I'm wondering if our grandmother, quote unquote, is actually our missing mother, and something happened with the green atomic serum and it aged her. Because they've never really said that the grandma and the mom were living in the house together, just that the grandma showed up and the mom is missing. And then my other thought was, let's go see if I can show this character. No, he's not around. So, you know that the town founder that died, I'm never going to remember his name. Wait, maybe this statue will tell me his name again. Okay, so this is his daughter. This is the guy that died, the founder of the town. Can't remember his name. This is his daughter, Eris. She's not entitled to their will unless she takes care of this child that just randomly appeared out of nowhere. I think the child is the like a young version of this guy, of the founder that died, quote unquote. Something's going on with age in this town is all I'm saying. Oh my god, me and my prancing balloons are so adorable. Oh, I almost forgot. I ran into your gran this morning. She asked me to give you this. Rollo handed Luca an unopened letter. I'll wait for you inside if you want to read it now. A letter? Luca, some things are going to happen that might be difficult for you to understand. If I am honest, I hardly understand them myself. But whatever happens, I need you to know that I love you. None of this is fair to you. You have already lost so much. We both have. I wish there was a simpler way forward, but if there is, I haven't thought of it yet. God knows I've tried. Everything I've done I did for you. I hope someday you can accept that. Love, Gran. I love you too, Gran. Luca folded the paper into his pocket and headed up the ladder. Oh, so suspiciously gooms. What's with the letter? Anything you want to talk about? Maybe later. Sure, whenever you want. You know, you really didn't have to go through all the trouble just to apologize. I know, but we've been looking forward to the festival for weeks. After I ruined everything with my big mouth, this was the best way to make sure you'd still have had a good time without me. Rollo. Luca was at a loss for words, but that was fine. Words aren't always necessary. The festival seemed nice. Was it nice? We can still go. Nah, this is fine. Well, there's always next year. Sadly, this was untrue. A distant rumble shook the treehouse. Huh? What was that? Oh man, we missed the fireworks. It was not fireworks. It was something the boys couldn't possibly comprehend. Something as old and cruel as time itself. What the fuck? Was Razor right? Is there Lovecraftian horror in this? Whoa. A shockwave of cold tore through the room, a bitter, unfathomable chill. Before they could react, it encased them in ice. What the fuck? When was the last time I made a choice that we could even go back to? Two boys, reunited by friendship, only to be cruelly separated by a malevolence beyond reason. And so our story ends on this melancholy scene. In a silent treehouse, turned sanctuary, in a town brought low by its secrets, sits a pair of friends, alone, together, for the rest of time. The end. What the fuck? No, that can't be the ending. It simply can't. I won't accept it and hope you won't either. There are more endings, more possibilities. I can feel it. We are just going to have to sort through them all until we find out what fits. Oh, shit. Well, I've done everything Oh, we can fight or flight now. And this is Thunder Break versus Thunder Rumble. Let's do this one because I think it's closest to the timeline that we just did. I doubt this has much effect, though. Luca began to respond, but the sky answers for him as the clouds above began to break. Revealing patches of star-filled summer night, moonlight filtered down, shimmering in the treetops. Oh, I made it thunderstorm versus making it clear up. Oh, that's crazy. Sure, you can meet Rollo. You're not going home? No, I promised Rollo I'd tell him about... Luca stopped himself mid-sentence. Promise you tell him what? Spit it out, bub. We're thick as thieves now. If there's a juicy secret, you gotta tell me. Okay. You can come to the treehouse and I'll tell you both what happened. Heck yeah. Oh my god, I didn't even think about breaking the clouds. Luca saw Beck skulking by the gate. So you're telling me there's nothing mysterious or creepy about this place? Oh, it's mostly boring and empty. I refuse to believe that. Big spiked gate, looming mansion, rich, reclusive owners. It even smells shady. Beck grabbed the wrought iron bars and shook the gate. Mark my words, you decadent nightmare house. You will reveal your secrets to me. Whoa. What did you do? First of all, I told you so. Second, hide. That's Eris Valentine. Who's that she's talking to? Shh. I expect you to return that suit in working order. Of course. As long as everything proceeds as planned, there's nothing to worry about. The only thing I'm worried about is what's rightfully mine. If that means making some unsavory alliances, so be it. I couldn't agree more. There comes a time to suspend hostilities. I'll deal with our common threat. Now this is what I was talking about. Beck's voice was as excited as ever? I don't know, I clicked too quickly. Proper shady stuff. Someone in a suit like that tried to grab me yesterday. Seriously? Shh. You do understand that when this is all inevitably fails, I will deny everything. I wouldn't expect any less of you. You just worry about your part in this and let me handle the rest. I can't wait to see the look at the Rube Kerr's face. Yes, the truth will come to light. I'm still surprised you're so comfortable with the potential collateral damage. If there's one thing I've learned, is that change is painful. Wow, I was expecting shady, but that's just flat-out supervillain talk. If you don't mind me asking, why? Why are you doing all of this? The mysterious figure retracted their mask, hair pushing out from all corners. Family. A chill ran down Luca's spine, his vision blurred. Beck stifled a sharp wince, and Luca looked down to see himself wrenching her hand. An answer I can certainly respect. Gran tousled her hair back under the face mask. Just remember, keep everything nice and normal until the festival. I don't need lessons in rousing suspicion. Gran gave Eris a curt nod and disappeared into the night. A Scooby-Doo Mystery Gang. Chapter 5. What big ears you have. Lucas sat shivering in the bushes, staring at his feet. After checking to make sure the coast was clear, Beck gave him a gentle tug on his sweater. What's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost. Why were you so scared of the old lady in the hazmat suit? That was my gran. That was your gran? Yeah. Okay, well, I'm sure there's a perfectly reasonable explanation for all of this. Let's just go to the treehouse and figure things out there. Lead the way. I'm still prancing, as happy as can be. For the last time, there's nothing to worry about. Of course, we're not worried. The clipboard finished writing with a scratchy flourish and looked up. Just dotting our I's and crossing our T's. Well, maybe try minding your own P's and Q's. Mr. Nuncreed, arms crossed over his paunch, gave an exhausted sigh. If there's anything you need knowing, you'll know it. Absolutely. If you'll just sign here, acknowledging everything is accurate, we'll be out of your hair in a flash. Oh, for the love of... He snatched the pad and scribbled his name so hard the pen nearly snapped. There. And you would like your eternal soul as well? The clipboards looked at each other for a moment, almost pondering the possibility, then broke into laughter as they walked away. Oh! I'm so glad I gave them that voice. It's worked out so perfectly. Hi, Mr. Nuncreed. Luca, let me give you some advice. The next time someone you don't know asks to hear your thoughts, give him a good hard bop right in the kisser. Oh, Gran tells me to just keep away from the clipboards. That's good, that's good. Your Gran is a smart lady. Speaking of which, you'd better run along home now. Too dark out here to be wandering on your own. I'm not on my own. Beck is with me, and Beck is the best. Another day, another dollar. Excuse me. See you tomorrow, Z. Have you noticed how all the Perennial Harvest folks ordered the same drink? Decaf cappuccino with extra foam. Why? I don't know. Just thought it was a little odd. Pretty weird for sure. Well, the customer's always right. See you bright and early tomorrow. Sigh. I can't wait. Hold on, let me show you one of my chilling spots. Can I chill? Yeah. Look at me chill. God, I'm so casual as fuck. William Kerr and Gus Valentine proudly surveyed the half-covered festival banner. It's all coming together quite nicely. Couldn't have done it without you. The mayor gave a half-hearted shrug. I'm not so sure about that. Nonsense. That reminds me, I wasn't able to thank your sister for her contribution. Yes, she has been indisposed of late. She doesn't much like me, does she? Oh no, that's not it at all. She's just been busy, of course. Regardless, I would be forever grateful if you could pass my thanks on to her. The History Museum adds a real air of importance to the whole affair, and we couldn't very well celebrate the story of Beacon Pines without including the Valentines. My father was a great man. You're darn tootin' he was. Kerr looped his arm on Gus's shoulder. But I mean the entire Valentine family, present company included. Can I ask you something, Mr. Kerr? Call me William. Ask away. William, why are you doing all this? Gosh, I've never felt one needed a compelling reason to throw a party. Not just the festival. All of this. There's got to be 100 down-on-their-luck towns out there. Why is Perennial Harvest so invested in helping Beacon Pines? You know what I love most about the agriculture business? Seeds. Seeds? Yes, I love spreading my seed. Bend over. Yep, little puddles of potential. Ew. With a glimmer in his eye, Kerr gestured grandly toward the horizon. You treat a seed right, nurture it, feed it, and it grows into something truly special. So, you see potential here, undoubtedly. A seed of greatness is already under our feet. All it needs is a little nudge, and the right leadership, of course. Of course. Good night, Mr. Valentine. Or Mayor Valentine, however you choose to read the actual words that are written on the screen. Why did it feel the need to make us sit through that entire walking? Can I go in here? No, I cannot. Alright. Gus, my dude. Alright, let's go meet up with the... Oh, this is nice. Yeah, the treehouse is just a little further up on from here. So what's your buddy Rollo like? Rollo? He's... Rollo. Not particularly helpful. Sorry, I've just never thought about it. Lots of energy. He's funny, even when he's not trying to be. Things have been tough for his family since the foul harvest. It's about damn time you tell me what this foul harvest thingy is. It's a kinda long story. Hit me with the highlights. Okay. There used to be a fertilizer company here called Valentine's. They were kind of a big deal. Oh, big deal fertilizer. It was a big deal to us. Their stuff really worked. Farmers loved it. So Valentine's grew and grew, becoming... Beacon Pines pretty much grew around it. Most everyone in town either worked for Sharper Valentine or used his fertilizer. Things were good. I'm sensing a big but. Around 6 years ago, Sharper Valentine suddenly died, and something changed. Changed how? Could have been a bad batch. Maybe it was in the water, or air, or soil. Nobody knows, but all the crops died, and everyone blamed the Valentines. The foul harvest. Yeah. Valentine's fertilizer went out of business. Half the town lost their jobs. Sheesh. The next year, the corpse came back. But something was different. You plant a crop, do everything right, and it's sort of crapshoot what happens. And no one knows why? No. I take it Rollo's farm got the short end of the stick. Yep, for some reason their farm was hit harder than others. That sucks. Things have gotten better since Perennial Harvest came to town. The Beacon Pines Reborn initiative. Yep, first things they did was give the town a deep scrub. They even put us up in hotels, on town over for a week, while they decontaminated the groundwater. Excuse me? That's suspicious as fuck. Did they also wiretap all your homes? We'd better get going. Yes, that is weird. Whenever Lucas saw his dad's chair by the pond, it reminded him of the days they'd pack up a couple of sandwiches and fish until sundown. Oh no, do I have anything new to fish with? Ooh, I do. Luca wrapped a twig of thyme around his hook. Some fish have refined taste. No! Easy there, buckaroo. You don't know your own strength. I know. I know I'm a savage beast. Also, I'm colorblind, and it's hard for me to tell when the rope is starting to turn red. Oh, there I think it was. Oh, yes. What is with games and fishing minigames? People like it. Hey, Faye. Sorry, I was totally absorbed in the reading. I didn't even notice you were talking. Figures. If he had his way, property of Sharper Valentine would be written on everything in this town. Should we give it back to him? He may not even want it back. That man's got a contentious relationship with time. We'll keep it here in case he ever wants to pick it up. Oh man, there's one more thing, but I don't have it yet. Rollo, I made a new friend. It's about time. I was about to give up and go home. Who's the new kid? Name's Beck. You must be Rollo. I see my reputation precedes me. Welcome to Mission Control. Rollo waggled his head with pride. You'll find we spared no expense in construction. I've seen worse-looking piles of junk. Thanks. Hey, Luca, you know the security concerns we talked about? Yeah. While I was waiting, I made some improvements. Let me lock this baby down for a little test infiltration. Can't be too safe these days. It's fine. I often end up being absorbed subconsciously by a fair number of people. Totally, we put it in alarm. And a target. He goes all out, doesn't he? Always. Ooh. Throw... Wait, no. I want this can. And I want to throw it at the target. Oh, come on. There's not really a way to aim. There we go. I mean, I can't really aim. How are you making a moving target? There we go. Where did you guys get all this junk in the first place? There's a guy in town named Jeff who trades us junk for snacks. Junk food for junk? Nice. So, pretty sweet security, right? It was imaginative, I'll give you that. Luca, are we sure we can trust the new recruit? I'll vouch for her. Thanks, I guess. Oh, Luca, you promised to fill me in about the Valentine warehouse. Luca sucked in a long breath. So like I said, there was something there. What were they doing? I don't know, but the place was lit up and active. Maybe they were squatters. I don't think so. It seemed more organized. When the man pulled me in, I saw some sort of equipment running. A man pulled you in? Yeah, but I got away. You keep saying it was a man. They were wearing a mask, right? Yeah. Then it could have been a woman. How do you get away? I grabbed a rock or something and broke their mask. Then I let go and ran. Dang. That's intense. No wonder you freaked out when you saw your grandma. Yeah, that's the other part. On our way home, Beck and I saw Eris Valentine meeting with Gran, wearing the same sort of hazmat suit. Rolla let out a long whistle. Shh. Shh. I can't whistle. I can blow through a crack in my lower teeth, and that's about it. And they weren't there for idle chit-chat. It was a proper clandestine meetup. So, let me get this straight. There's an operation in full swing at the Valentine's warehouse. You were almost abducted by a strange man or woman in a protective suit, and then you saw your Gran in the same suit talking to Eris Valentine. Pretty much. I'm beginning to think this town is kind of awesome. Rollo and Luca shot back a look. No offense. And so, we can logically conclude aliens or alien zombies have infiltrated the town. And their leader is your gran, and she tried to murder you. First of all, and for the last time, there are no aliens. Second, it couldn't have been my gran at the warehouse. I broke that person's mask to get away. The mask Gran was wearing wasn't damaged. But she's definitely hiding something. Maybe. Your gran is weird, but she might be the most boring person in the universe. All she does is sit around all day making jam. Yeah, but it's fucking THC-laced jam. What could she possibly have to hide? I don't know. We haven't talked much since she moved in. Moved in? Your gran isn't from here? No, she came a few months back to take care of me after his mom went missing. I was totally fucking right. This is not Gran. This is his mother. I guess what would change that is if he knew her before her mother disappeared. Did you know your gran before? No, not really. I called it. I fucking called it. It's been years since I'd seen her. Luca, don't take this wrong way, but are we sure your gran is on the up and up? Luca gazed out the window. I'm just saying, it sounds like strange stuff has been happening since she showed up. We could say the same thing about your family, but you're right. Luca, your gran is hiding something. And Pa always says folks only bury stuff worth digging up. We need to investigate your house. If my gran really is hiding something, don't you think I would have noticed by now? That's kind of the whole point of hiding something. I guess you're right. Gran's been leaving the house for hours at a time this week. I'll call you two tomorrow when the coast is clear, and we can start getting to the bottom of this. I'm always good for a good snoop. You can count on me. Chapter 6, Secret Lair. Summer forged ahead, and the nights only seemed to grow colder. Luca walked home slowly under the pale starlight, cautious to avoid any more surprises lurking in the shadows. Reaching home, he slipped quietly into bed, half dreading what they might discover the next day. What time is it? Such a little cutie pie. Can I go in my parents' room yet? No. Rollo, what on earth is that? This ridiculous thing on your head. Oh, this. It helps me think. You're gonna need a lot more of those. Joke all you want. We'll see who's laughing when I crack this case wide open. The coast is clear. Yep, whatever she's been up to this week, it's been keeping her busy most of the day. Very well. The game is afoot. Luca and Beck rolled their eyes as Rollo strutted across the room. If I were Gran, where would I hide my deepest, darkest secrets? Perhaps where you might least expect it. Rollo flung open the cabinet with confidence. Aha! He coughed as a veil of dust hit his face. I think it's safe to assume anything that dusty isn't what we were looking for, or maybe that's what she wants you to think. Then again, any good detective knows not to trust their first hunch. First hunches are for suckers. She only brought one piece of furniture with her. It was a hutch. Maybe there's a secret door behind it. Eureka! She's lit a fire in order to burn the evidence. She keeps that fire going every day, Rollo. Drat, I may already be too late. Just think of the mounds of documents lost to ash. Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there. Can we just think for a moment? Luca, is there anywhere Gran doesn't want you to go? Yeah. The closet upstairs. Oh, that's right. So maybe it stands to reason that we should check there first. No dice, it's locked. Well, well, well. Look who stands to reason now. All I have to do is no idea where the key is. If it really is important, then she'd probably keep it with her. Anywhere else? She has her berry bushes. Who has ever thought, I am going to take this important thing and huck it into a bush? True. Anything else? Maybe something out of the ordinary? Well, she is always worried I'll break her fancy dishware in the kitchen, but it doesn't matter anyways, I can't reach the latch. A look of realization crept onto Luca's face. All three kids snapped a glance at each other, then sprinted in towards the kitchen. All right, Rollo, this is your time to shine. Ah, yes. You've called upon my expert detective skills. And now I shall proceed with... Before he could finish, Luca scrambled up Rollo's back. Hey, this isn't my idea of detective work. Every squad needs a good lockpick, and every good lockpick needs a sturdy head to sit on. This is beneath my standing. Stop complaining and hold still. So the vet thinks Nimbus has a soft tissue injury, like a sprain. Oh, in the leg? That's so weird. I wonder how that happened. Was he limping before he got on the couch and was doing the belly rubs with you last night? It's crazy. Crazy. I wonder what happened. The three crowded around the hutch to peer in. With the glass doors open, a perfect porcelain display gleamed in front of them. Their eyes searched for everything amiss, but the only distinct feature was its impeccability. Well, that was anticlimactic. Yeah. I don't really know what we were expecting. Like, oh hey, let me just yank on this random teacup, and as Beck pulled out one of the teacups, it slanted forward with a hollow click. The entire hutch began to rustle and slide under its own power. Whoa, what did I say? Seems like your gran has been doing some remodeling. Dude, only 2 types of people have secret layers, evil masterminds and superheroes. So which one do you think she is? We're about to find out. Okay, so more of an unhinged conspiracist vibe. Oh, wow. Yeah, that cannot be good. We need to look around before jumping to conclusions. Luca jostled each cabinet drawer in turn. Only one was unlocked. He fingered through the filing cabinet, pausing at a bulging folder labeled Walter. For a long moment, he just stared at it. He stared at Walter's bulge? What do you got there? It's my dad. Looks like some of his old medical files. Your dad was a doctor? Luca nodded and caressed the label with his thumb. Well, are you going to read it? Here, let me help. Rollo swiped the folder from the drawer and began leafing through the pages. He whistled to himself, barely looking at the text. How about you actually read some of it? 1 second. Dense documents such as this are a lot like a cheeseburger. It's best to skip straight to the middle. That's where all the meaty bits live. Wow, I have no idea where we were in the presence of the preeminent scholar in dense documents and cheeseburgers. By all means, proceed. He stopped at a page and mimed holding up a monocle. Ah, here we are. Follow-up examination of Terence Wilby. Patient shows further signs of paleness and malice. Body temperature continues to drop. He now describes soreness of muscle and joints. This is similar to the symptoms exhibited by Mrs. Wilby just a few days past, still waiting on lab results from Joseph. Willow looked up with heightened surprise. See? Creepy. Yeah, that's kind of disturbing. Who's Joseph? That's Mr. Nuncreed's name. Wait. Rollo's fingers traced across the page. There's more scribbling in the margins. Could it be contagious? Mr. Wilby claims that the tap water at his home has been contaminated, perhaps environmental. Lab results only raise more questions. It's like he came back to the report later and made those notes. So it might be related to something else. Rollo scanned through several more pages. Here, the writing looks shaky. I just couldn't help her. This disease, or whatever it is, progresses so fast, and with his wife's passing, Terrence's condition follows close behind, exacerbated by the loss. Enough is enough. I need to take matters into my own hands. Luca, staring blankly at the cabinet, this whole time spoke softly. What does it say next? Rollo rustled the folder, trying to loose more pages. That's where it ends. Wait, what? There has to be more. Luca frenetically shoved the remaining cabinet folders, trying to find another labeled Walter. Luca, I think that's the only one. It's alphabetical, see? What did he mean enough is enough? How did he take matters into his own hands? This is bullshit. Luca slammed the drawer shut. He was on the couch getting the belly rubs and then tried to get up, but punching his feet into a soft cushion at the back and not rolling over the edge behind him. He struggled for a while, so I tried to help him. He opted instead to roll backwards towards the ground, skittering across the floor, and stopped at the bookshelf with his paw raised. That is so weird. It's amazing what children can do to themselves. course, I say that when I had a brother who used to build bombs. Not only did he build bombs, one of them fell over and shot a flaming wall of fire at our neighbor's house. A spider web of string connected photos of people from the town, interspersed with hastily scrawled notes. Well, she sure has kept herself busy. Is your gran a serial killer? 'Cause I'm starting to get that vibe. Don't be ridiculous. Sure, she's just tracking the movements of everyone in town out of the kindness of her heart. She put little symbols by some of them. Yeah, Mr. Nuncrete has a check mark. The clipboards are all inside of a big circle. My moms are both on here, both with question marks. Gus Valentine has a question mark. Eris has a question mark that's been crossed out. Mr. Kerr has a bullseye. The killer has chosen her next victim. We don't know what any of this means. Whatever it means, it's probably not good. My brother said he was building bombs, but honestly, he was just beating our old game console with a bat. No, my brother was like... He's like that... I don't know how to say it. He's not like... He's super smart when it comes to like engineering and building and creating, and like not academically smart. Not that he's dumb, but you know what I mean? Like he's just naturally like an engineer, a builder, and he used to just build and make tons of shit as a kid, including not bombs. They were like fireworks. Let's go with that. It sounds a little less intense, but he was super into that shit. He was a pyrotechnic. What do we have here? Barrels marked caution. Now he's an electrician, so, you know, mechanically inclined, yes. Now he's an electrician, so it all worked out, I guess. Barrels marked caution, explosive. And jam jars. That's enough jam to feed the whole town. What kind of incendiary jam is your gran making? Interesting. She wouldn't have had me walk around town delivering bombs, right? Only one way to find out. Rollo casually spun open a lid and dipped his finger into the jam. Huckleberries. He smacked his lips. A hint of brown sugar and... ink? What? Rollo plunged his hand into the jar, fishing on a soggy slip of paper. Aha! Rollo offered the slimy note to Luca and licked his fingers clean. It's addressed to Mrs. Fratelli. A grand jamgram. It says, last night I used the disguise Eris provided to scout the location. The timing window should be possible. Operation Sparkplug is a go. Oh man, are they doing a heist? Whatever it is, it can't be good. So more a bombshell than a bomb, I'm right. You're new here, so I'll let it slide, but I'm the bad joke guy around here. They crowded around a worn-down old map of Beacon Pines. Cool, this looks like a treasure map. Not every old map is a treasure map, Rollo. Yeah, but every treasure map is an old map. Can't fault that logic. Look, there's even a pathway drawn on it. It starts at the entrance to town, and if we follow it... Rollo carefully traced the path with his finger. It leads right to... He jabbed down at the end point. Town Square? That's the fountain in the middle of town. What a weird place to hide treasure. Rollo, that doesn't look like treasure to me. The end of the path on the map has the same symbol as those explosives over there, so it's not hiding treasure, a real bummer. Rollo, what's the thing you've been excited about for the past month? The festival. Gulp. Did you say gulp? That feels like a gulp kind of situation. Everyone will be gathered near the center of town. She's gonna blow up the festival. Not if we stop her. She's gonna use the fireworks as cover. What was that? Luca looked up from the map. What was what? No, I heard it too. That was the front door, which means someone just shut the door. Which means someone's upstairs. Shh, quiet. Hit the lights. Beck flicked off the lights, and they became statues in the dark. Overhead, creaking floorboards bent under slow, deliberate steps. The kids looked up, the tilt of their necks following each footfall. Then suddenly it stopped. Without realizing they'd been holding their breath, all three exhaled shakily and glanced at each other. A muffled male voice broke the silence. Hello? A final few footsteps reached the entrance above them, and the voice now echoed down the stairs. "Anyone down there?" The three kids shuffled to the corners without a peep. As he began to descend the stairs, the man's voice punctured every new step. Thump. Yoo-hoo! Thump. "I'm not here to hurt anyone." Thump. "I'm just here to help." Thump. Just thump. At the bottom step, the man paused, squinting to search the room for signs of life. Huh? Guess it's nothing. Rollo shifted suddenly. Luca gave him an intense, chastising look and whispered through clenched teeth, "Rollo, don't." It was too late. Rollo was already inching toward the stairway. He screeched as he charged towards the shadowy figure. "Flaming chicken coop!" With all his weight, Rollo tackled the man to the ground. "Rollo! Mysterious, creepy man! Anyone there?" From the dark corner they saw something move. "Welp, I didn't know if I had it in me, but there was only one way to find out. Holy crap, Rollo, that was awesome. Wait, did you just kill that person?" Luca scrambled to the figure on the ground. Pressing his fingers to the man's neck, he sighed with relief. "You sure clobbered him good, Rollo. He's knocked out cold." As Beck flicked back on the light, Luca and Rollo both gasp and stare. In stereo? Wow. "Mr. Trolliver." Or Tolliver, depending how you read. Chapter 7. The Interrogation of Hiram Tolliver. Still unconscious, Mr. Tolliver slumped heavily in a shoddy old chair. His hands were bound with rope, his feet tied with some loose string. The kids huddled in a circle, discussing their plan. One thing was certain, they couldn't just let Mr. Tolliver go. They needed to know what he was doing in Luca's house. After some deliberation, it was decided. They'd run the classic good cop, blank cop interrogation. Good cop, hard cop? Oh, man. Hard cop. Yeah, I know it's bad, but that wasn't an option to me. But maybe it will be in the future when we come back to this point. Rollo brandished a steely gaze. "I've got this. Read about it 100 times. Rollo swaggered past the chair, which propped up in the slumping Hiram Tolliver. Without even looking at his captive, he began with a long, blustery drawl. "Well, well, well, Mr. Tolliver." Mr. Tolliver remained motionless. Rollo spun around to face him. He clearly expected to rouse Mr. Tolliver with his booming voice. Mr. Tolliver?" Beck and Luca gave each other an unsure glance. Rollo slammed his fist on the table. "I said, Mr. Tolliver!" He grabbed the table lamp and beamed it over into the unconscious face. Totally, this is amazing. Mr. Tolliver groaned and slowly lifted his head. He recoiled with a muddled, weary squint. What in the world? The chair wobbled as he attempted to straighten up. Who's there? Mr. Tolliver could only make out rough shapes through the glaring light. With a gruff tone, Rollo hoped to both conceal his voice and intimidate. "I'll be asking the questions here, punk. Now hold on, let's just calm down. Oh, I am calm. Calm as a carrot in dirt. As for you, looks like you're sweating." The doubtful expression on Beck and Luca's face transformed into awe. "We can do this my way, or... well, let's just say I've never needed another way." Rollo, hitting his stride, was now channeling every detective trope his memory could recall. He slammed the table again. "Now dance!" "What? I don't even..." Mr. Tolliver's voice became desperate. He was nearly in tears. "I've tied me down. How on earth can I dance?" "Dance with your mouth, punk. Spill the beans. What are you doing poking around this house?" I'm here to help Juniper, to make sure everything's ready." "Oh, so you're in cahoots with Gran." "Gran?" Mr. Tolliver was in a daze, now more confused than ever. "Gonna help her blow up the festival, eh?" "Blow up the festival? Good Lord." He shook his head, feeling more and more dizzy. No, you've got it all wrong. Where is she now?" "She's headed to the source." "The source? What is the source?" "It's where..." His voice faded to a whisper. "The town began, where it all began." "What is Operation Sparkplug?" With that, Mr. Tolliver passed out cold. Rollo swung around with a repentant grimace. Damn, Rollo, I think you were a little too hard on him. What did he say about the source? It's where the town began. We need more information. Yeah, but we better not push Mr. Tolliver any further. Is there anyone else who might know more? What about the History Museum? It just got set up for the festival. Nah, the tent was put up by Mr. Valentine's. By the Valentines. Everything they do is just a bunch of fluff to glorify themselves. Is there anything more reliable? The library. If there's any information about the source thing, Kato can help us find it. Let's go get some answers. This is a dang nice library. Thanks, we work hard on it. Aren't you a little young to be a librarian? Kato hung out here so much eventually they gave him a set of keys. I just keep an eye on the place for Mrs. Novak's sometimes. They've got you working for free? It's quiet and I get access to all the books I can read. What more could a person want? Fair enough. What can I do for you all? We need a favor. I already told you in Rollo, I can't put you any higher on the wait list for the next Hank Atomic. And if you're here with more candy, I'll have you know I can't be bought. Call it a personal code of conscience. Actually, we're looking to do some research. Now you're speaking my language. What are you looking for? That's the thing. We sort of don't know. What do you got on the history of the town? There's the county record archives. What's in those? Births, deaths, newspapers, clippings, stuff like that. Pretty boring reading. But they do have all the ways back to when the town was founded. Great, we'll start there. Drink break, sorry. 6 feet under, 3 towns over. The kids spent the rest of the afternoon combing through dusty piles of old country records, desperately searching for anything that could help them make sense of Mr. Tolliver's cryptic utterance. Lucas tried to shake the thought of Grand's basement, but his focus wavered. Explosives, messages hidden in jam, dossiers on various town figures, and a corkboard threaded with photos. Gran was the only family he had left. He still couldn't bring himself to believe the worst, but the old map with a symbol of explosives in town square made that difficult. As the sun began to set, the kids were no closer to the truth. I have to read any more records. My eyeballs are going to pop. We have to keep digging. If I dig another word, I'm going to end up in one of those asinine death records. Rollo Cutter lived a full and wonderful life, till he read so much boring crud that his brain oozed out of his ears. Rollo shut his book with an assertive nod. If you've got a better idea, spit it out. You sound like my sister. Keep pushing your luck, pal. And it won't be boring county records that'll kill you. I'll put you into the obituaries myself. Rollo muttered under his breath. Your county record. Really? That's the best you've got? When I'm done with you, you'll be the footnote in history. Just like... Beck slammed her fingers down on the open page. J. Hartford here. I'd love to see you try. Oh wait, that wasn't a laugh. That was a hey, hey, hey. We're all a little tired here. Let's just take a minute and... Something tickled the back of Luca's mind. Wait, what was that name, Beck? In the obit? J. Hartford. From the Bookville Tribune 20 years ago. That can't be right. What is it? J. Hartford. That's my grand's name, Juniper Hartford. Maybe there were 2 J. Hartfords? Mrs. Hartford is survived by her young daughter, E. Hartford. My mom's name is Eleanor. Okay, this is getting creepy. If your grand is 6 feet under, 3 towns over, then who am I living with? The question hung in the air. All right, gang, I gotta close up for the night. Beck rubbed her eyes. How late is it? Oh, well, it's 10. Oh, crap, Pa's gonna kill me. I gotta go. Yeah, my parents will be worried sick. Okay, let's meet up as early as we can at the festival tomorrow. What are you gonna do about the unconscious man in your basement? I'll think of something. Pie in one hand, tickle his nose with a feather. Luca's heart was pounding as he approached the house. If he was lucky, Gran, or whoever it was, hadn't gotten back yet. And of course there was Mr. Tulliver tied up and unconscious in the basement. Dealing with him would be the first order of business. Lucas shook out his arms to calm his nerves before entering. He held perfectly still, tempering his breath and listening closely. She was asleep. His only hope was that she hadn't found Mr. Tulliver before dozing off. Oh shit. Oh no. Mr. Tulliver was nowhere to be seen. Maybe he woke up, escaped from his bindings, and left without a trace. Or maybe Gran knew everything. What do I do? Luca's hungry stomach groaned. Not realizing it, he'd gone the entire day without eating. Okay, I can figure this out. Just need a little brain food. Luca rushed over to the pile of jam jars, unscrewed one, and shoved a handful into his mouth. I'm afraid your jam delivery will be delayed. He flipped the lid to read the label. Mr. Nuncreed? Okay, now I can think. So if Gran knows we tied up Mr. Tulliver, I'm screwed. If she doesn't know, then I need to play it cool. I guess the only option is to go to bed and act as if nothing is wrong. Gran will think Mr. Tulliver finished what he was sent to do and left when he was done. There's a lot of going to sleep in the middle of some dramatic moments in this game. Whoops. Gran? Oh, stick to the plan. Go to bed and play it cool. As Luca climbed the final stair, the emotion of the day dragged heavily on him. With each consecutive step, his legs weakened. His stride began to falter. He tried to grab from the railing to steady himself. Something was wrong. Come on, legs. Just a few more steps. Luca groaned and tried to move. His limbs might as well have been bolted to the ground, though through numb lips he mumbled just before falling asleep. The jam? Well, we managed to go to sleep. Sweet boy, what did you get yourself into? Rest now and let me handle everything. Chapter 9. A speech to end all speeches. Luca awoke to find himself face down in bed. He moaned into his pillow. Why would Gran drug him? Or rather, why was she trying to drug Mr. Nuncreed? Shaking the questions from his woozy head, Luca snapped back to the matter at hand. The festival. I just got slipped a roofie, but whatever. Time for the festival. Where have you been? Gran put something into the jam. Yeah, we know. Secret messages for secret conspirators. No, not this one. The one intended for Mr. Nuncreed put me to sleep. Whoa. Sly devil. Ooh, oh my god, that picture's awesome. I think she's trying to remove him from the equation. He might be in danger. Have you found anything? We looked around but haven't seen anything odd. Your Gran is nowhere to be found. But Mr. Nuncreed is just loafing around waiting for a speech. What speech? Mayor Gus just got up to the podium. Everyone is gathering at the stage. Let's get moving. Augustus Valentine nervously wiped his brow. Ahem. Is this thing... hello, Beacon Pines. I'm Augustus Valentine, your mayor, and I suppose you already know that. Oh yes, before we get started, I just wanted to take a moment to recognize someone who couldn't have been here today. This town wouldn't have been here in this, it is today without my father, Sharper Valentine, so I thought we could begin with a round of applause befitting such a great man. even those more than the old codger deserved. Gus cleared his throat and awkwardly loosened his tie. Right, where was I? William Kerr bounded on stage with the energy of a preacher at a big tent revival. Gus Valentine, everyone! He gave Gus a hearty slap on the back and motioned him off the stage. Let's hear it for our mayor. What a great turnout. Ah, heck, I didn't prepare anything, but I suppose I could say a few words. Would be a shame to waste such a beautiful podium. Mr. Kerr pulled a thick stack of note cards out from his vest. Community, conviction, commitment. These are the things we celebrate at Perennial Harvest. For us, these are the pillars of the bridge to a better tomorrow. But I think it's time to add a new pillar, change. Change is a powerful thing. It's inexorable, unavailable, and undeniable, and I am dagnum thankful for it. Change is the reason we're all together today. It's hard for me to believe that it was only 4 years ago when fate brought me here. A simple business trip, which brought me to a small town, which would change my life forever. Mr. Kerr took a moment to survey the crowd. You know what? He wiped away a single tear. From the second I set foot in Beacon Pines, something about this place has held me captive. You see, change represents opportunity. It represents potential. It was change that helped me recognize the potential of this place, to see that the people of this town, despite suffering great loss, still held on to the things that made them special. He thumbed the podium to emphasize each word. Community, conviction, commitment, change. Mr. Kerr nodded confidently, biting his lip. The crowd was silent in rapt attention. Fate made a perfect match that day. Nothing is more important to you all than community, and Perennial Harvest is a community first and foremost. Mr. Kerr methodically made eye contact with each section of the crowd. The only way you made it through the foul harvest was an unshakable conviction, a conviction that a better tomorrow was just over the horizon. Perennial Harvest was founded on the conviction that we are that horizon. This festival is a symbol of our commitment to each other. His voice began to build to a crescendo? I don't know. We now walk hand in hand into a future we will shape together, and that is what change is all about. Grabbing the future by the scruff of the neck and making things happen. Change is a choice. I am tickled pink that we will all be making that choice together. How great is that? Just imagine what we can accomplish. What was that? The crowd began to look around nervously. Don't worry, a little thunder is going to ruin this day. Everyone remain calm. Mr. Kerr quickly flicked through his note cards. Where was I? Through all of my travels, I have learned one true thing. One always reaps what they sow. We have all planted a lot of good in this town, and so it is with a happy heart that I can proclaim, he raised his hand up to the heavens, our harvest awaits. Oh no, another ice ending. At that moment, a merciless wall of impossible cold air ripped through the crowd, instantly freezing everyone and everything it touched. For a man like William Kerr, this was a fitting way for things to end. On a stage, with an entire town frozen in rapt attention for the rest of time. The end. That's the ice again. Whenever I think we're getting close, it comes along and ruins everything. Maybe we should just quit. Maybe we should close the book, walk away, and never think of me again. No, I don't mean that. We got a little closer this time. We just need to try again. Please. Sly or chill? They'd run the classic good cop, sly cop interrogation, I guess. But it's not this. Can I go back? Can I make a different tree choice? Let's try sly cop. Luca and Rollo ducked behind a barrel, leaving Beck to her task. With a few crisp snaps, she roused Mr. Tolliver. Huh? What's going on here? You're the Modwell girl. Please, call me back. Sorry about all this. Mr. Tolliver looked down and shifted a bit, testing his restraints. It seems there's been a mix-up. You see, I'm down here for the same reason you are. Juniper sent you here. Beck caught herself before letting the surprise manifest on her face. She'd already gotten him to reveal his relation to Gran. This was going to be easy. You know how Juniper is with her precautions. Operation Sparkplug has us all on edge. I guess she thought you needed some backup. But she sent a child? What better way to avoid prying eyes? Who would suspect a kid? I suppose that makes sense. Mr. Tolliver wiggled a bit in his restraints. Oh, I'm so sorry. Beck quickly removed the ropes. A little, yeah. That had been uncomfortable? A little, yeah. But you understand. We never know who to trust in this town. Mr. Tolliver rubbed the growing knot on his forehead. Very true. So, I turned out we were both here to... Beck twiddled her hands as if to prompt Mr. Tolliver to finish her thought. Destroy the evidence. Beck shook her head and clicked her tongue. Yep, the old gal is nothing if not thorough. Mr. Tolliver let out an amused huff in agreement. She sure is. Can't blame her, though. If anyone were to find out that we were going to destroy the source, we'd both know how bad that might be. No one will know anything once I finish cleaning things up down here. Beck was on a roll now, playing Mr. Tolliver like a fiddle. You're sure you can finish this up on your own? Juniper trusts me for a reason. You can leave the rest to me. Good. There is one more loose end I'll go work on. Loose end? Oh, it's nothing, really. The other day I had the radio on scan while restocking the candy shelf. And wouldn't you know it, I intercepted an old phrase in a Perennial Harvest transmission, Underground Secrets. That's ominous. I think it might be a password, but Juniper dismissed it, said it wasn't mission critical. What's the password for? We don't know. So we have a password and know where to put it. It's gotta mean something, right? Good thinking. You should probably go work that out. I've got this under control. That's a relief. Between you and me, this basement gives me the willies. Heading for the stairs, Mr. Tolliver hesitated and turned to Beck with a puzzled look. She grinned and gave him a peppy wave. With a shrug, he continued up the stairs, whistling a jaunty tune. Oh, I should have made tea. First break we take, I gotta make tea. You guys catch that? Sure did. This whole time Mr. Tolliver's had a candy shelf, but all he ever sells to us is apples. Beck blinked slowly in disappointment. The password, Rollo. Well, sure, but once things are back to normal, I've been having a word with Mr. Tolliver about that candy shelf. Fine. In the meantime, I've got an idea. She turned to the table and began tearing small scraps of paper. He said they heard a password on the radio, and a good spy transmission is never what it seems. Beck marked each scrap of paper and leaned back. We just need to find the hidden meaning. Okay. What's another word for underground? Buried? Covered? Could it be a cover-up? Maybe it's one of those, each letter is a number thingies. So U would be 21, N would be 14, D would be... Oh, it's an anagram. Nung Creed's drugstore. Luca and Beck looked at Rollo with amazement. Rollo, that was incredible. Well, it's either that or Cred's nude rug store. Yeah, I think you were right the first time. How did you do that? What can I say? Well, I guess we know where to go next. Investigate Nung Creed's drugstore. All over it, baby. You scared me half to death. Sorry. You kids haven't seen Mr. Tolliver around, have you? Nope. He's got me waiting around like the last slice of pie. I swear that man would be late to his own funeral. Suspicious. Sus? You're late, Augustus. Sorry, sister. Was caught up with work. Work? You? I had a few more details to lock down for the festival. Oh, what do you have to report? What is this insipid town festival really about? I think... Gus looked around nervously. I think Mr. Kerr really does just want to do something good for the town. He's actually a pretty nice guy. You should spend some time with him. I didn't pull strings installing you as mayor so that you could make friends. Your job is to help me figure out what Kerr and Perennial Harvest's true intentions are with this town. We have a responsibility. This is our father's town. Was. Excuse me? This was our father's town. He's gone, Eris, and he isn't coming back. Father left us with nothing but problems. Mr. Kerr came here and offered to help us. We accepted that help. We didn't agree to them turning Father's warehouse into a toxic dumping ground. That is just a temporary arrangement. The glow can be seen from our damned backyard. They are dumping their nasty little secrets on us. When this all inevitably goes wrong, who do you think will be blamed? Eris' cry hung in the air. We have a new choice to make now, sister. This town is going to change, whether we like it or not. Are we going to choose to be a part of that future or be forgotten in the past? It's a shame. Father named you Augustus, but you will always just be a Gus. Good night, Eris. I'll see you at breakfast tomorrow. It's getting late, children. Whoop-de shit. We don't answer to you. Okay, so this dog is definitely like a, I don't know, like a Doberman Pinscher mix, maybe? Which kind of looks like this dude. I totally think that this dog is like a young version of the founder, Spencer. Solomon stood proudly at the entrance to the drugstore, holding a brown bag overflowing with black licorice. Hey, Solomon. We're looking for Mr. Nuncreed. I'm afraid not. Then where'd you get the candy from? You might say we have an arrangement. Solomon shoveled a surprising amount of licorice into his mouth. Sometimes it's the small pleasures in life. Though we might not always have family to rely on, licorice has never let me down. Well, I can't say licorice would be my first choice, but whatever floats your boat. You can tell a lot about a person by the choice of their confection. Oh, yeah, I guess. I like sour gobs. I'm certain you do. I always wondered why Mr. Nuncreed kept licorice in stock. You must eat enough of it to make it worthwhile. There are many ways to earn loyalty. For some, it's as easy as cold hard cash. Yes, only old people like licorice. Yet another reason to assume that he's Spencer. Well, he's right. It's locked. There's got to be more clues. Okay, let's see. The answer's got to be around here somewhere. Have you ever seen anyone actually use this thing? In another timeline I did. Besides Mr. Nuncreed, no. Beck cupped her hands on the glass to peek inside. This is not a normal phone booth. It's got like a blinky keypad. Why would there be a blinky keypad? Cred's nude rug store. I mean, underground secrets. The password. Beck flung open the door and they all squeezed in. All right, let's see here. Luca cracked his knuckles and entered the letters into the keypad. Underground. Secrets. Sounds like that did something. Great, now what? I guess we... Ah! The inside of the phone booth dropped loose from its shell. Without even the space to panic, they closed their eyes, held their breath, and accepted their fate. Suddenly, the chaotic descent slowed to an effortless landing. It was unclear where they ended up, but at least it was solid ground. They're in a laundromat. The air was stagnant and smelled vaguely of chlorine. I knew it. You knew that there was a secret hub full of strange tubes under the phone booth? Of course I did. Didn't I say that? No. I definitely thought it. Luca, do you remember when I said how cool it would be if the trans-dimensional conduit from Hank Atomic Issue 12 would reel? Rollo, at one point or another, you've said that about every technological ever discussed in the Hank Atomic. That's why I'm such a good predictor. It looks like each of these has something written on them. Mining Operations Alpha. You guys have mines here? Not that I know of. This town is all farms and fertilizer, and a series of tubes. Pa always says you can only trust a miner up to the point where they hit gold. Not sure how that wisdom applies to this exact situation. That's the thing about Pa. You don't always realize what he means until it's too late. Perennial Harvest main office. That's where my mom works. What does she do? Science stuff? If she's involved in all of this, we should move ahead. We should move here. How would she be involved? True. Valentine Fertilizer Warehouse. Isn't that where you almost got snatched? Yeah. Why did Perennial Harvest have a tube going to their old Valentine place? This is starting to feel like something big. This suit has a broken mask. So, have you found any mystery warehouse creeper? We have at least found their hazmat suit. If it walks like a Nuncreed and talks like a Nuncreed, let's not jump to conclusions. Just saying. That's a lot of buttons. Stand aside, Earthlings. I've read enough Hank Atomic to know my way around sci-fi tech. Rollo's hands hovered over the field of blinking buttons. Eeny, meeny, miny... Rollo, what did you do? Nothing. I didn't even move. I didn't even mow yet. What was that? Hide. Where? There's nothing but weird tubes down here. Just get back. Shit. 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 Awesome. You all need to come with me, now. We aren't going anywhere with you. Not until we get some answers. Mr. Underground's secrets. I told them it was an absurd password, but they love anything that makes them feel clever. They who? That's no matter. If I can keep you hidden until after the festival, I might be able to save your skins. We don't care about our skins. Hold on now, I like my skin. This all stops now, Nuncreed. Joseph waited for a moment in silence. You sound just like him. Who? Walt. You don't get to talk about my dad. You know your father and I were friends back before. He gestured towards the strange tubes. All of this. That's a lie. It's true. I used to bounce you on my knee. Oh, what happened? Same thing that always happens. Reality, complications, life. We were a team, Walt and I. An idealistic doctor and a bright-eyed pharmacist. Both hell-bent on helping folks. So you were his sidekick? No. We were partners. He helped the patients and I helped them. Yep, total sidekicks. Nuncreed let out a growl of sigh. Luca, I need you to know this. I need someone to know this. One day, Sharper Valentine comes to us. Says he's got an opportunity. He'd found something he didn't quite understand, and he was willing to pay us both handsomely to help him understand it. And my dad said no. Your father and I both believing in helping people, but the thing I could never get him to understand was, it's a lot easier to help others if you help yourself now and then. Classic sidekick into villain plotline. Walt loved being righteous, almost more than he loved his family. He was wrong about one thing, though. When he begged me not to take Valentine's offer, he said, Joseph, if a person says yes one time to Sharper Valentine, he'll make sure they keep on saying yes to him until the day he's dead and gone. He shook his head wistfully. Sharper's long gone, but he's still got me saying yes. Is there a point to this sob story? Not really, no. Just an old man trying to delay what needs doing. Nuncreed took a menacing step towards the children. I tried to keep you safe. I tried to keep you and Juniper out of this, but you forced my hand. Luca began to laugh. What? You really don't know. My gran isn't out of this. She's been scheming right under your nose. Juniper! Seems like she's planning on crashing the town's party. She's going to disrupt the festival. Why would she? The color drained from Nuncreed's face. Now, how does she know? Apparently she knows a lot of things. What? Let's just say this isn't the only underground lair we've busted into today, and honestly, hers is way cooler. She's got maps and explosives and bad intentions, big man. Nuncreed grabbed Luca by the shoulders. His eyes were frantic. You need to tell me what she's going to do right now. She doesn't understand what it is she's messing with. Tell me now. She's in danger, boy. I don't know. She had a map with a mark on the fountain in town square. The fountain? But why would... A jolt of realization struck Mr. Nuncreed. She knows about the source. What the heck is the source? If she tries to destroy the source, it could catalyze and... Dear God, she's going to freeze us all. Oh, well, at least we figured out where the freeze is coming from. You all need to run. Run where? Away. As far away from this town as you can. Get out. Head west and don't look back. That did not go how I expected. So, we're totally following him, right? Totally. See you on the other side. You good? Yep. I love this town. Chapter 8. The Cold Hard Truth. Beck leapt up, allowing the suction to yank her into the dark. Dimness eclipsed around her like the shutter of a camera as she seemed to cover great distance in mere moments. Her only point of reference was glints of upcoming turns, which approached with frightening speed, only to carom her gracefully along. She heard the tiny distant echoes of Rollo's glee. Once she stopped fighting against it, the ride was impossibly smooth. Then, all of a sudden, as if minutes had passed in an instant, light blazed into view. Bursts of wintry air sniffed across her face, and she was flung out into the cold. That was intense. Yeah, I think I might have parted with some fluid in there. Any idea where we are? Somewhere cold. Doesn't look like it got any of us. I didn't feel like we traveled that far. So where did it all go? This place sucks. Why would anyone ever want to blow something up into here? Only one way to find out, I suppose. We've got to catch up to Nuncreed. I think he went this way. Aren't we, just in front of where his father's buried? Aren't we at the tree? Yeah, we're at the tree. Does he not recognize this? This looks familiar, yeah. Maybe we can clear off the snow. No time, Nuncreed's getting away. Oh, this is starting to feel familiar. I may not be the most well-versed on all things Beacon Pines, but this does look like some sort of frozen replica of town. Ah, I got it. It's so obvious now. Mr. Nuncreed is an alien, Rollo. Stick with me here. His species can only live in sub-zero temperatures. Oh boy, here we go. The source is this base camp dimension, so naturally they keep it cold. We found it by traveling through those metallic wormholes back there. The final objective, kill us all and shapeshift into Beacon Pine citizens of their choosing. You never really had me, but you very much lost me there. You get used to it when we should keep moving. As they rounded the corner to the frozen town square, they spotted Mr. Nuncreed inching cautiously towards a pit at the center. He held his arms out gingerly, as if approaching a beast in the wild. Upon crossing the distance, Luca recognized what Nuncreed was after. Gran stood confidently at the edge, one arm outstretched over the abyss. Nearby, a wheelbarrow had been emptied out. She held a lit torch, which flickered into the bitter wind. Juniper, I don't know what you think you're doing, but I assure you this is not going to solve anything. If you drop that, you're doomed this whole town. Oh, it wasn't me who doomed this town. I've been watching you, Joseph. I know what you've done, you and your conspirators. Gran, what's happening? Luca, you and your friends need to leave right this moment. Mr. Nuncreed turned back towards the kids, desperation in his eyes. Listen to your Gran, Luca. This is between me and Juniper. Rollo and Beck held a steadfast in awe. Luca approached closer. Mr. Nuncreed spun back toward Gran, his voice growing louder. You've got it all wrong, Juniper. Just hand over the torch. You don't understand what you're doing. How can I possibly trust you to do the right thing? Walt told me everything. He trusted you and you betrayed that trust. Luca, did you know that this man's entire life is a lie? If it weren't for him, your father might still be alive. Mr. Nuncreed winced with anguish. His voice hardened. That's not true. They both now yelled, not to each other, but at fate itself, making their peace with long-held burdens. The wind howled with encouragement. Walt was like a brother to me. We just had different ideas about how to effect change. Very convenient that your way was just happened to line your pockets. Now that's not fair. They menaced at each other, both catching their breath. The moment balanced on a knife's edge. Amid a blur of emotions and memories, Luca's mind flooded with questions. The wind calmed as if to give him the stage, and in that stillness, he began to weep. It was all just too much. Falling to his knees, Luca whimpered softly. The tears crystallized as they hit the snow. Gran stared at Luca for a moment with a warm sympathy, remembering why this was all necessary. This'll all make sense soon, Luca. Then everything can go back to normal. I promise. She stiffened up and brandished the torch at Mr. Nuncreed. You can't hide behind those people any longer, Joseph. Once their precious source is destroyed, we'll see where their loyalties fall. Juniper, don't. Ignoring his final plea, Gran flung the torch into the deep darkness. She smiled and exhaled in relief. Mr. Nuncreed moaned in resignation. The torch echoed as it ricocheted down the hole, punctuated with a thunderous thud. You see, Joseph, I've learned one very important lesson in life. If you want things to change, then you must be willing to. Before Gran could finish, the ground shook her to silence. Gran only had time to spin around and run to Luca, her attempt to shield him an honorable but trifling act. Unflinching love, pitted against an unthinking horror, there was no contest. Her warm embrace froze in an instant. That is where they remain, fixed in place, forever. And so our story ends on this melancholy scene. In a town brought low by its secrets, sits the frozen statues of a misguided band of meddlers. The end. Well, that was dire. On the bright side, we finally figured out where all the ice is coming from. Now, we just need to find a way to deal with the mystic, unfathomable force of nature. Fire and ice. My only other option here is to play Chill Cop, or we can go all the way over here and do Flight. I'm going to keep going with where we were, right? Maybe we need to do Flight, and that'll unlock new cards that we can then play here. Alright, I'm going to take a bathroom break and maybe make some tea. And then I'll be right back. You can still hear the wind blowing, but it sounds kind of nice with the music, so we're good. have some devastating news to report. My tea kettle broke. Oh, I can't make tea. Man, I've had that thing for like at least 15 years. So I guess I got a good life out of it, but I'm bummed. That's a bummer. So I guess I'll just have to continue drinking flavored water. I was hoping for some hot throat coat tea because I love coating my throat in a hot liquid. Alright. Click back on the game. I just don't know that playing Chill Cop is going to do shit for us. I'm going to go back to this storyline and do Flea. Is this where the kid got aged, whose face got aged? I don't even remember what this one was. I wish I could see it and get a reminder. Yes, it is. It is. There's no way that that's a good storyline ending because that kid's face is all, like, fucked up. You never know, though. Let's do it. Luca's mind raced. He was caught in a trap. What do you do when there's no hope? Iggy wiped his cheeks with his sleeve. What are you going to do, Luca? Luca drew himself up and decided to take the only option they had left. Flight. He squinted down the barrel of Mission Control defense cannon, aiming it through an opening in the dense, deep branches. Oh, he's going to make a zip line. Hell yes. He looked up with surprise as it struck true and taunt. Wow, I can't believe that worked. Hey, Mr. Kerr. We'd love to hear your thoughts, but I'm afraid we have places to be. Come on, Iggy. See ya, jerks. Fine. We know where that leads them. This way we'll take the tunnels. Luca and Iggy winced as they sprinted through the thicket. The branches clawed at them, reluctant to give passage. After what felt like a marathon, Luca stopped in his tracks as they reached a clearing. What the? That was all he was able to say before Iggy slammed into his back. The boys tumbled down a steep decline and crashed with a wheezing thud on a surface as hard as ice. In fact, it was ice. Chapter 5. Signs. They stood silently, catching their breath. The sky was like sapphire. With each breath, a plume of steam escaped from Luca's lungs. Let's keep moving. Luca pulled Iggy to his feet, and they gazed across the snowy terrain. That was actually pretty badass. Uh-huh. I think we lost him. And we are up in the mountains? I don't think so. If everything we went downhill, then what's up with the Winter Wonderland? All I know is there's no going back to the way we came. Let's see if we can get on our bearings. Follow me. Find a way home. Oh, I know a way home. The home's right down here. What's the readout? Sitting just above 258 Kelvin. That's down a bit from last time. Shouldn't we report this to Mr. Kerr? Meh, still within safe ranges. It may be spreading, but it's under control for now. Even a small nudge in the equilibrium could cause a cascade. Dude, relax. Just a few more sites to hit before we can punch out. Let's get this over with. What is that? Hard to say with all this snow. I think it's the town sign. I can almost make out letters under there. What town could this even be? There couldn't be another town this deep in Weep Wood. I'm looking at evidence to the contrary. Let's figure out what we're dealing with here. Step 1, snow's gotta go. I'll see what I can do. I need something to throw at it. Luca! Luca, are you there? Luca had almost forgotten the walkie-talkies he was carrying. It's that bozo Kerr. I hope nothing bad has happened to you out in those woods. Luca looked at Iggy with hesitation. No need to be rude. With a resigned sigh, Luca responded. It seems like the only dangerous thing in the woods is you. He speaks, the young man of the hour. Now, how in tarnation did you end up with one of our radios? Just lucky, I guess. Boy howdy, you Van Horns are full of surprises, aren't you? You knew my parents? I never had the honor of meeting your father, but your mom sure was a handful. Luca winced, shoving the walkie-talkie back into his pocket. We've got to keep moving. In situations such as these, I find it best to chuck stuff and ask questions second. Okay, you want me to chuck snow? What am I chucking? Oh, there we go. Welcome to Beacon Pines. The boy stared in disbelief at the sign that now clearly read Welcome to Beacon Pines. This doesn't make any sense. Where is Beacon Pines? We're in Beacon Pines? How is this possible? We ran away from town. How do we get back here? I guess we got turned around. Where did all this snow come from? Well, it's been colder than normal lately. There's a pretty big difference between sweater weather and this Arctic hellscape. The puddle we fought before, it was cold too. Maybe all of it leads to one source. You think it's related? What the hell is going on? We're gonna get you some answers. Let's keep moving. The fencing glistened, each chain link encapsulated with a translucent layer of ice. Looks like the stuff they put up around Weepwood. The stuff who put up? I don't know. It's all frozen. Looking down at the frozen stream, Luca could faintly see a school of minnows encased in the ice. Whatever happened here, it happened fast. The fish didn't even have time to run. Or, swim away. The crunching of their footsteps trailing Luca went hush. He looked back to see Iggy's face twisted with confusion. Everyone's gone. What? There's nothing here but more snow. There must be an explanation for all this. We have to keep looking. You can look all you want. I quit. Iggy, we have to keep going. You don't get it, do you? This isn't one of our pathetic Hank Atomic stories. We aren't going to save the day. We aren't even gonna save ourselves. My face is mangled, the town is destroyed, and everyone we've ever known is gone. We don't know that. You can't just quit. Do whatever you want. I'm done. Iggy, it's gonna be okay. Luca peered upward at the darkening sky. He let out a long, foggy breath. Faintly, Iggy began to cry. Seeing Iggy in such a pathetic state gave Luca a sense of compassion and more than a little guilt. It is getting pretty late, I think. Probably not a great idea to stumble around in the dark anyways. Luca allowed himself to collapse next to Iggy. Let's just rest for a bit. The boys huddled together for warmth and comfort. If not for exhaustion, their minds would be racing, trying to make sense of the events of the day. As it was, all they had energy for was to sit in silence, numb. You're gonna freeze to death in the cold. You guys should go home to Luca's house and sit by the fire. Or at least take off all your clothes and skin to skin it. I mean, that's the only way to stay warm in hypothermic blizzard conditions like this. The way the snow covered everything over, it's kind of calming. Yeah. I haven't had time to say it, but thanks. Huh? For getting us away from those creeps. I sort of froze up back there. Iggy, I should be the one apologizing. This all happened because I lost my temper. Nah, that's bull hockey. First of all, you didn't know what that gunk would do. You didn't, right? Of course not. And second, stop with this baloney about losing your temper. But I did lose my temper. Iggy motioned sarcastically to his half-deformed face. Obviously. But that's exactly what you should have done. Huh? I was being a horse's ass. You were supposed to be a horse's ass in response. That's how it works. Iggy, I'm having a hard time following. You wanted me to fight you? Of course. Geez, you goody-goody types take forever to understand the very basic point. Why would you go around saying cruel things trying to get into fights? Iggy shrugged. It's something I do. You're an asshole because you're bored? Sometimes I just feel empty.
You wouldn't understand. You and Roller are always having a blast together, laughing and calling that dinky little treehouse mission control. Iggy now went openly. Now wept openly? Perfect little Luke of Van Horn, with his perfect little life. My life is not perfect. Everybody in town likes you. Not everybody. Hell, that new girl hasn't even unpacked yet, and even she already likes you. You have Tish. He wiped his nose with a sleeve. I love Tish. Tish is great, but she ain't exactly the world's greatest conversationalist, you know? Luca gave a warm chuckle. I get that impression. Iggy cleared his throat as he wiped his eyes. Huh. It must have been raining out here. Definitely. Iggy arched into a wide yawn. We should probably try to get our some sleep. Yeah. Let's lay low for now. Tomorrow we'll get to the bottom of all this. Luca's eyelids began to slowly drift shut. Luca? Yeah? I always did want to see the inside of your dinky little treehouse. What did you think? Not bad. I'll give you the full tour when we get back. You know what? Huh. That's all Luca could whisper before succumbing to sleep. Iggy snuggled in some more. When it comes to the worst days of my entire life, this wasn't half bad. Aww.
The house smelled of warm bread. Luca was playing with toy blocks on the living room rug. He looked up to see his parents on the couch. His mother held his father's head in her lap. She idly stroked his hair while humming a song. A voice behind Luca spoke. This is how you remember them, huh? Luca turned to see his own face. The doppelganger from his dreams, still clad in a yellow hazmat suit, still carrying a look of disdain behind empty eyes. Ah, look at that perfectly cozy scene. You know it wasn't really like this. The figure picked up a toy block and inspected it. It's amazing the facade that one can build given the right materials. Not that I blame us. Those are a child's memories, all warm and fuzzy. You don't remember, do you? Luca snatched the block from the figure's yellow gloved hand. Remember what? The doppelganger pointed to the couch. The last day we saw him alive. The day he chose to abandon us. Luca turned to look at his father, still lounging on the couch. That's not true. He didn't abandon us. The doppelganger waved his hand dismissively. Everything is true here. It's just a matter of what we choose to see. Let me show you. The world flickered and pulsed. Luca was sitting next to his bed, listening to his heartbeat with one of his dad's stethoscopes. The doppelganger limped into the room. Now, we both know that's not how this went. He grabbed Luca's hand and guided the stethoscope to the floor. Luca heard muffled shouting, brought close by the stethoscope. It was his parents, fighting. Do you remember what we did next? Luca gave a slow nod and crept down the hall to peek through the banister. He could see the outline of his mother at the bottom of the stairs. Damn it, Walt. We can't afford to get involved in this. She was scared. His father stepped forward. What am I supposed to do? Just watch? There's a sickness in this town, and we both know who's behind it. I swore an oath to help the people. I won't turn my back on them. Luca's mother grabbed Walt. She was crying, pleading, I can't lose you. Walt calmly removed Eleanor's hand from his shoulder. What's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. I could never live with myself if I let Sharper get away with this. Eleanor raised her voice. Spare me your bullshit platitudes. What about your son? Luca flinched, dropping the stethoscope down the stairs. Walt turned with panicked smile. Luca, is that you, buddy? With tears in his eyes, Luca descended the stairs. Mom? Dad? What's going on? Walt dropped to a knee to meet Luca eye to eye. Nothing, buckaroo. Your mom and I just got a little overexcited is all. Luca placed his stethoscope against his father's chest. His heart was racing. It sounded like you were going somewhere. Walt gently removed the device from Luca's ears. Listen to me, Luca. I have some business to take care of. I'll be back in time to tuck you in. Luca hugged his father tightly. Promise? Walt stood up and walked to the door. He glanced over his shoulder. I promise. With a wink and a grin, he put on his hat and strode out into the evening sun. A figure approached soundlessly from the foggy snowfall. It stood above them, lingering in contemplation. Slowly raising one hand above Iggy, it snapped out two brisk raps on his head. From a deep slumber, Iggy sprang up defensively. Get your hands off me! Whether it was the calming presence or the recognition that it was not in danger, Iggy felt his clenched fists lower.
Just what do you think you're doing?
Luca looked up, gradually remembering his whereabouts. The figure exhaled a cold, warm vapor. You two certainly have caused a lot of commotion.
What's that supposed to mean?
Take it easy, Iggy.
We were always minding our own business. You're the one running around knocking one on people's heads.
I'm sorry if I hurt you, Iggy.
You didn't hurt anybody.
Anybody.
Oh, huh? Oh, I see. You think you're better than me, you.
When it came to complete strangers, Iggy had trouble cobbling together an insult.
You big-headed, scarf-necked furball.
Oh, let's lower the temperature a bit here. Interesting choice of words. I mean, let's all just calm down. Who are you? A friend? An observer? A hitchhiker on the infinite expanse of possibility? Great! How about a name? If you must call me something, you can call me Nat.
Iggy huffed with gratification. How about you make like a gnat and buzz off?
Very well. Nat began to turn away indifferently. Wait, do you live here? You might say that. So you know where we are? You might also say that.
Look, pal, we just want to find a safe way out of here. You gotta help us or not.
Before knowing how to leave, one must know where they are.
All right, that does it. Luca, I don't know about you, but I'm getting out of here one way or another.
Iggy turned sharply and began to stomp off. Enough with the riddles. Iggy, wait up. Realizing he'd worn their patience thin, Nat relented. Very well. I suppose this isn't the time for metaphors. I'll show you how to get back home. Luca and Iggy turned around with hope in their eyes. Come here. Nat took a deep breath in. Close your eyes. Nat exhaled slowly, then snapped his fingers. Okay, open them. For a brief moment, Luca and Iggy let themselves believe that some great magic was about to unfold, until they opened their eyes and found themselves in the exact same place, cold and disheartened. This is your home. This is Beacon Pines. Look, Nat, we don't know how we got here. Maybe we stumbled through some time travel gate in Weep Wood, or we teleported to some alternate universe, or this is all just some cruel experiment by Kerr and his goons, but this is not our home. You're inching closer to the truth. Alas, the reality is much less fanciful.
Just give it to us straight.
So be it. As I said, this is Beacon Pines, the original, true Beacon Pines. You both grew up here, but the town you've called your home for the past several years is a replica. A remarkable achievement of engineering, to be fair, but a replica nonetheless.
That's impossible. It's too much work. You'd need a whole town to replicate a whole town. Wait, they had the whole town leave and stay somewhere else for like a week.
Indeed, to pull off such a feat would require immense labor power. That which could be moved would be moved. That which could not would require a precise duplicate. We would have noticed. Someone would have noticed. You think so, unless the auditing was impeccable. A mind-numbing attention to detail. As for the innumerable trivialities which complete the tapestry, well, you can leave that to this miraculous thing we call a brain. It has a real aversion to discontinuity, a revulsion even. The brain has a wonderful way of smoothing out the rough edges, keeping us sane. Luca and Iggy looked around uncomfortably.
So you're saying that someone made an entire new town and moved us all and no one noticed?
Precisely.
But why?
Why is the one question that can never be answered with certainty. The best one can do is to uncover. Nat narrowed his eyes, furrowed his brow, and uttered, "The source."
Why'd you say the source like that?
Why indeed? Luca began to laugh uncomfortably.
It's all ridiculous. There's no way they could.
He looked down at his feet. His eyes darted back and forth in contemplation. With a sudden pain, a thought struck him. If this really is home...
He sprinted off into the pale. As Iggy turned to follow, Nat called out, "Iggy, it's not too late to turn back. Simply head west through the Wapewood."
Chapter 6. The Source. Nat expressed his sympathies with a shrug and sauntered off as unassumingly as he had arrived. He'd given Luca and Iggy what they needed and nothing more. As Luca sprinted across the snow, the events of the past few days became clearer, pieces to a larger puzzle. Rollo said he was underground somewhere, captured. Mr. Kerr tried to cover it up with lies. The clipboards were hell-bent on capturing Iggy. It all seemed to point to perennial harvest, but right now there was one thing that Luca needed to know. Luca stopped dead in his tracks. The trees were gone, uprooted, and moved, leaving a raw gash in the earth. He dropped to his knees and dug wildly at the cold snow. Aw, buddy. His numb hands hit something hard, a headstone. A dry whisper escaped Luca's lips. You're here. All this time I thought I was visiting you, but you've been here, alone, in the snow. Dad, I'm sorry. They ruined your favorite spot in the world. Our favorite spot in the world. Dad, what do I do? There was no reply, just snow-covered silence.
Why'd you give me the slip like that? What if I couldn't find you, you jerk?
Iggy finally noticed the tears welling in Luca's eyes and the snow-covered grave. Oh. Iggy, they stole his tree, Iggy.
Yikes. Suddenly they heard the crunch of approaching footsteps in the snow. We gotta hide.
259 Kelvin. Fall off distance still good. Dude, did you hear me? I said 259. Sorry. You ever think about what we did here? We saved a whole town of people. Doesn't feel like it sometimes. But what about everything we left behind? That's the grave of someone with a family. The people who loved them will never know the truth. The truth is overrated. He bent down to scoop up a snowball and lopped it playfully. Hey, don't be such a dour dude. We took this job to change the world. Yeah. Come on. It's almost lunchtime. Did you just moonwalk out of here? You weirdo. Here I thought I was a jerk. These dinguses, wow, I don't think I've ever seen that word written out. These dinguses are all out here literally dancing on graves. Lucas stuttered through heavy sobs. I thought I was visiting him. I thought he was with me. Not gonna lie, that's a bad break. Here's some advice. Iggy gave Luca a solid smack on the back of his head. Hey, who's any of this helping? What? Sitting here in the snow crying like some pushover. Who are you helping? Iggy, look what they did. They lied to everyone. Blah, blah, blah. Luca Van Horn, you're a lot of things, but you ain't no pushover. What did I tell you before? When some jerk comes at you acting like a horse's ass, I should stand up for myself? Hell yeah. Kerr and his merry little band of clipboards pulled off this switcheroo for a reason, right? Nat mentioned something about a source. Luca wiped his eyes with a sleeve. Whatever's at the source must be awfully valuable to perennial harvest. Sure would be a shame if something unfortunate were to happen to their precious source, wouldn't it? What do you have in mind? If it's small enough to steal, we snatch it. If it's too big to snatch, we smash it. And what if it's too big to smash? Iggy flashed a mischievous smile and cracked his knuckles. I'm always up for a challenge. I'm gonna make this right, Dad, I promise. Let's do this. Locate the source. Let's blue this. I can get awful cold out there if those woods, Luca. Probably best you two stay put and conserve your energy. Help's on the way. Where's Rollo? Where's my mom? Did you kill her? Oh, heavens no. Do I seem like a killer to you? Iggy and Luca shared a skeptical look. Well, do I? Aw, shucks. Now that hurts my feelings. Screw that guy. Oh, I can switch at any time. Interesting. I didn't know that. I probably did, but I forgot. Wait a minute. If this is an original town, then that means... Iggy darted behind a large pine and began digging furiously. He emerged holding a shoebox with a crude skull painted on its lid. What's that? Long story. So a few years back, I came into possession of some premium-grade fireworks. Now the wimpy firecracker stuff these kids have. The good stuff. So, why did you bury it under a tree? That's the long part of the story. You and Rollo were doing chores in Rollo's chicken coop, and you guys pissed me off for some reason or another. Luca rolled his eyes with realization. No, you didn't. Iggy stifled a chuckle. Yep. I just wanted to give you guys a little scare. But like I said, these were some primo fireworks, so I might have underestimated things. You blew up the chicken coop? I prefer to think of it as an incendiary redecoration. Sorry, but you should have seen the looks on your faces. Rollo got grounded for months, which is why I needed to stash the evidence and lay low. So I buried him under the tree. But when I came back for him later, they were gone. I figured some grown-up found him and tossed him. Iggy triumphantly raised the shoebox. Turns out, it wasn't the fireworks that got moved, it was us. Unbelievable. Do you think this is a game? Newsflash, boyo. There's not a hero. You're a little brat who is in way over his head. A hero is just someone who refuses to give up. Comics these days are rotting children's brains. Everyone thinks they're a spaceman superhero. I was always partial to Hank Atomic myself. Is that so? Do you really think you have a chance against us? You have no idea how powerful we are. Prepare for the blast-off, loser. Luca and Iggy inched up to the edge of the hole with bewilderment in their eyes. Artifact air breathed out of the cavern in heavy gusts. The echo I created outlasted my last breath. Whoa! I can see why they wanted to move us all out of town now. But why would they dig a giant hole? I think this is it. The source. This is the source? It's a dang hole? How do we smash a hole? Well, little one, you're gonna have to grow up a few years before I can answer that question. Oh, it's much more than that, my annoying little friend. Kerr. Where's Rollo? I wasn't lying before. He's safe. Well, safer than you two, at least. Drats, it's cold. You just have to drag me all the way out here, didn't you? Mr. Kerr gazed down the abyss in contemplation. It really is something, isn't it? What did you do to our town? What is all of this? Well, that's a doozy of a question. There is the source, where they collect the unrefined, Kerr scratched the back of his head. Honestly, boys, I don't understand any of this well enough to explain it. Fact of the matter is, I'm not paid to know. What do you mean, you don't know? Ain't you in charge? Oh, heavens no. My role is merely to flash a winning smile and manage various complications. Complications like us? You are a smart boy. His face contorted into a saccharine grin. It really is nothing personal. Some people are destined to strive for greatness, and others are simply obstacles along the way. Seems like you were destined to be a creepy lackey. The point is that we all play our part in life. Mine just happened to be a lead in the role of a lifetime, and you happen to be extras ready for your curtain call. We aren't giving up without a fight. Your smile not gonna be so winning after we've done with you. Now, boys, there's no need for melodrama. It makes even a professional such as myself embarrassed for you. Let's change the mood a bit. Kerr snapped his fingers. Scene change. There, that's better. Deal with them. Iggy turned to Luca with a sly glance. Why are you smirking? Because I have a box full of fireworks and you don't. Iggy waved the box into the air, threatening to drop it down into the hole. Stop! Let's not do something regrettable. Joke's on you, regret is one of my specialties. Out of curiosity, what would happen if I threw these in your precious hole? Nothing at all. You're a terrible liar. I'll have you know, I'm an exceptional liar. But, that's far enough. Iggy plucked a single bottle rocket from the box and held it up with a reverence. Stop, you fool. Call off your goons. After a long pause, Mr. Kerr flung up his hand with frustration. Very well. You all can head back for the night. It's been a long day. I'll handle these two from here. Mr. Kerr sighed into the frigid air. It's just us now, Iggy. You could put that down. What, like this? With a nonchalant flick, Iggy tossed the firework into the hole. Ooh. Whoa. With a growl, Kerr leaped at Iggy's crashing through Luca. Iggy tried to twist away, but in the struggle they both tumbled over the side. Luca dove forward, bracing Iggy's hand with just before it slipped. His grip was made precarious by the cold, wet snow. He could see Kerr further down, clinging to Iggy's coat. You reckless children, what have you done? Luca, listen to me. Hold on tight and use the walkie-talkie to call them back. How? What channel do I use? It doesn't make a damn difference. They're always listening. If you do that, clipboards will just haul us and snag us both. The only way you get out of this is if Kerr's out of the picture. Just let go and save yourself. If he lets go, we both die. I don't want to die, but seeing the look on your face almost makes it worth it. Mr. Kerr, you've had a long life. Why don't you actually do something selfish and just let go? Mr. Kerr gasped with insult. Long life? I'll have you know I can still play 25. You should have heard me sing the part of Phileas Young. With a wild look in his eye, Mr. Kerr began to hum a proud melody. Prum, dum-dum-dum, prrpity-dum-dum. Wow, can you believe this guy? Ooh, but we learned hum. Luca's hand began to cramp. His voice began to crack. Kerr, just let up. No can do. If you want to save your friend, you'll have to save me too. Luca, look at me. Just look, it's okay. Luca felt Iggy loosen his grip. You aren't going to kill your friend like that, are you? Every muscle in Luca's body burned. I'm not his friend. Yes, you are. Nah, I'm just a no-good bully, like you, Kerr. Iggy, no. Luca felt his hand slipping. And I told you what you need to do with bullies. I can't. It's your only way out of this mess. 2 birds with 1 stone. It makes sense for us all to fall together. Wackadoos travel to packs. A calm settled over Iggy's face. Luca, let me do this. Iggy's voice was colder than the bitter air billowing from the chasm. Let me do the right thing for once. Luca had no choice but to blink Iggy's request. Oh shit. I mean, if I accept his quest and they fall in there with the box of fireworks, it's just gonna ice freeze everyone. I'm gonna refuse. He tightened his grip and reached for the walkie-talkie in his pocket. A wild delight crept over Mr. Kerr's face. That's a good lad. Now radio for help. Iggy begged Luca with eyes one last time, but Luca pressed the button and called out. We need help. Mr. Kerr is in danger. It wasn't long before they were once again surrounded by clipboards. Mr. Kerr's sigh was relieved frustration. There you are. You really are a worthless lot, aren't you? Mirror now. A clipboard dutifully produced an ornate ivory hand mirror, and Mr. Kerr began preening his tousled hair. Ah, that's better. Mr. Van Horn, I applaud your sharp thinking under duress. I'll put in a good word for you with the founder. Take them away. A swarm of hands overpowered Luca. The last thing he saw before a cloth bag was pulled down over his head was the defeated look on Iggy's face. The end. I think this was one of those times where doing the right thing was the wrong thing. Alright, now let's do accept and see what happens. Oh shit, did I just do the same thing again? Wait. Oh no, here we go. Accept. I think either way we're ending here, though. With a quiet blink, Luca watched the teardrop sail down onto the hollowing void. As his fingers slowly gave up, he met eyes with Iggy. Good. An explosion into frozenness. The two silhouettes were swallowed by darkness. Hell of a goodbye, Iggy. Luca, you should really step back. What? Quickly. Oh, it didn't take out everything. Curious. Ah, but of course, those fireworks of Iggy's must have been just the right amount of energy. We should get out of here before perennial harvest arrives. Not until you tell me what just happened. Your friend's sacrifice just saved this town, for a little while anyways. How? Tempus liquamine is a peculiar substance. It can change the relationship between matter and time itself, but doing so requires unfathomable energy. In a closed system, that energy can only come from its surroundings. A useful side product of this property being, by adding precisely the correct amount of energy to it, one can create a cryogenic cascade. So the gunk makes things cold and the fireworks make the hollow freeze over. That's one way of putting it, yes. As dumb luck would have it, the fireworks weren't strong enough to generate a runaway reaction. I shudder to think what would have happened in that case. We have some idea what that would look like. It will take them a good while to safely break through and access the source again. If you know all of this stuff, why haven't you been helping? I have been, in my way. Each one of us has our role to play. Iggy's role, it turns out, was to buy us precious time. Mine has been to observe and wait. Wait for what? You. Me? Why? What's my role? A fierce twinkle flashed in Nat's eye. Luca Van Horn, you are going to save the world. With a chuckle, Nat turned and walked west. Dumbfounded, Luca followed behind him, trudging through the snow, every step taking him further away from everyone and everything he knew, and closer to destiny. To be continued in Beacon Pines. Pines harder? Revenge served cold. Second time's a charm. Wait, that's it? This ends with a crummy cliffhanger? Just when it was getting good? I was even starting to like Iggy. No way. I refuse to be associated with some never-ending parade of sequels. Let's go back and find something more definitive. Totally. This game is great. I think I'm reaching the end of my throat rope for the day. I guess I can only do about 2.5 hours of solid reading before my voice just kills me. So I think we'll call it here for today and continue tomorrow. How do I get out of this again? Let's exit. Nice. Thank you everyone for chilling with me today when we read. And hopefully you all got a good nap while I read. We'll play some more tomorrow. Another 2.5 hours, I presume. Unless I can fix my teapot. And maybe some tea could help me last longer. I think that's it for this. Maybe I'll play something later tonight. I don't know for sure, though. As always, keep an eye out in the Discord. And I will see you all later and next time.